Hello, everybody. Um, my name is Dalton Stark, and it is actually officially 1 a.m. Here in Texas as of right now. What's today's date? Someone tell me today's date. It's the 15th, yes. Middle of the month. Middle of the new day in the new year of 2020. I hope 2020 is treating you nice, treating you real good. I hope 2020 is a kind lever to you. It's yeah, it's me. Well, okay, so here's the thing. I should probably be going to bed, but my sleep schedule's been a little wacky, and before I've decided to succumb to the grips of sleep, I like all great ideas, you get a good idea or compulsion to do something right before you should probably be in bed, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta let that go a little bit. Not saying sleep isn't important though. Sleep is very important. And I think I could probably get a little more of it. I like to think that I could run on a little bit of less sometimes, but at the same time, it's your biology. You kind of just you need some good sleep. But that's despite the point, because I am just gonna I'm staying up just a little bit longer. This isn't gonna take me all night, but I just kind of wanted to get on here and chat and do some doodling. I really enjoyed while I was doing these during Inktober. It's kind of like it's kind of very immediate process for me. I feel I don't have to do a whole lot of editing, like it's not like I have to put a whole video together for these. It's kind of just turn my phone on and talk and draw, and I don't have to, it doesn't have to be another thing that I have to add to the to-do list, like, oh, now I made that video and I gotta go edit it, and I got these other things I want to do, because, you kind of you start making all these to-do lists, and, trying to save you some energy, and sometimes things just slip through the cracks when you're just adding a little too much, so sometimes you just gotta do what works, and I think that's what I like about the immediacy of this drawing style, kind of doing these freestyle drawings, and just kind of getting to talk about them while I do it. I think sometimes I may feel, or maybe get, maybe I get self-conscious, and I kind of think like, oh, like I'm not trying hard enough if I just am doing it so immediately, but I really don't think that's the case, because I definitely have artwork that I spend a lot of time on. I have works that take me a while, just not these, but I can't just have one or the other. I find that I can't just have one style of working, like I can't just, like, not all of my art every single time. It's just gonna take me like a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever. Sometimes I just need the stuff that's like straight pen and ink and that doodle, this kind of doodly, straight from the source stuff. And I don't think either one could exist without the other, honestly. Sometimes when I really love this stuff, but if I do it just too often, I get I find it get a little stale in this area. You kind of have to find a way to kind of counterbalance it, and I think this kind of counterbalances my my work that is maybe more intensive, you know. And I think sometimes I look at my work and I see it kind of inconsistent. You know, it's a lot easier to look at your own work and feel like there's something inconsistent about it, you know, because also it's, you know, your first person perspective, and you're seeing certain nuances maybe that you know, the other individuals may may not be keen to, or maybe you are looking too closely at, you know, to realize. Um, you know, it's like you're able to, sometimes I find it's a lot easier to look at another artist's work and see like, oh, they're so consistent and they just look like they're doing everything on purpose, and you know, having this very like manicured, purposeful style. But you know, I think anybody that I've really talked to about that is it's definitely viewer based. Like, I think when you're the artist and you're making stuff, you kind of, it can really feel all over the place sometimes, you know. I definitely know for me, it's like when I'm doing these more doodly kind of Aztec Mayan looking things, they can feel a little different from my more sketched out work. And you know, I think the best work is always going to have a little blend of both in them. And I'm always trying to kind of find ways to merge those two worlds more closely together. But I guess I acknowledge more so that they are not separate, and that they are just the breadth, the like breadth, breadth of work, I guess. We used to use that term when I was in studio art back in high school. You had to make a portfolio that was either like you had to have a concentration, which was like 20 concentrated works on a specific subject, and then there was also like you would have breadth, which was just like a kind of showing your skills just across the board at different things, which I think is actually really good that they did that. I think at the time I was, you know, I didn't really, I was a much younger artist, and I didn't fully understand. But I mean, how could you know? But maybe I understand a little better with some age. Some things, you know? Some things more than others. Let's see. What's going on in my life? Let's think. Well, to tell you the truth, I've been really wanting to kind of get a game plan together on moving out. So I have basically been freelancing at home at my folks' place, saving up some money here, and I've got a pretty good amount saved up, but I think I've never moved out before. I think it's something that's kind of scary for me, and it's something that I feel is also the most important thing for me to do in this kind of next chapter of my life, and you know, just to be real, I guess I'm kind of nervous about it, because I kind of don't I don't really know what I'm doing with it. It's some days I kind of feel like I have a game plan together, and then the next it kind of just feels like I'm like, oh no, maybe I should wait longer, you know. So yeah, I think, I mean, to be honest, I kind of just been a little back and forth with that. I'm you know, would really like to make that happen this year. Just because I just think it's what I need to do, you know? I think I worry about money. I think that's the thing, for sure. You know, it's like I'm making like a majority of my income through like the sticker subscription that I do, and you know, from doing online sales, and from doing commissions and everything, you know. I guess maybe it doesn't feel like enough, you know, when I put all the expenses down, and get into like the cost of living and everything. Maybe it is enough. Maybe it's just enough. Maybe I'll only know when I put myself there, you know. But yeah, I guess that's definitely been something that is on my mind a lot, if pretty much daily, you know. I'm kind of thinking about. And yeah, been, you know, I guess the two main things is pretty much, I think about that, and I think about my Patreon a lot, you know. Because I really just want to, I just want to do something great on there, and sometimes I think I'm trying to change it up all the time, which may not be a bad thing, but you know, I guess I just want to feel like I'm giving enough value to people, and but also like keeping things fresh for myself, so I don't like go crazy, you know. Like I really enjoy doing the stickers. I would like to keep doing that. Maybe I would like to have a more efficient way of doing that, because a lot of it is very, you know, requires my own labor on part of the printing and everything, and even if it's, maybe that's not even too bad, but maybe it's just a part that makes me more, uh, makes me more anxious than I'd like to admit, honestly, you know. So I don't know. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot too. Is kind of how I can, you know, if I really want to, how much I want to revamp things. I'm always kind of changing it up a little bit. I feel like the my sweet beloved patrons have are definitely very very cool about you know, letting me experiment with like the rewards, and trying out different things. Hell, you know, I was even thinking tonight, I feel like the I feel like the most consistent part of some of the patron is that it's kind of a little inconsistent, you know. Like I always try to make sure that what I'm sending out is awesome, you know. Even if it is something a little different, whether it's a print or a postcard or a doodle or a Polaroid picture, or, you know, I think at the end of the day, if it's awesome, and people feel like it's awesome, then maybe that's enough. But also, I guess I'm always kind of looking for something a little more consistent, maybe. Maybe I crave consistency, even though I'm someone that is constantly looking for something new as well, you know. So maybe that's part of my deal, you know. I constantly crave the stability and peace of mind and certainty of something consistent over a long period of time, but at the same time I also crave tons of nuance and newness and shiny new objects, and new experiences and new ways of making things. And sometimes, and that's a good thing, you know, but it can also be I think it can kind of put me in situations where I feel like I'm always kind of chasing the next shiny thing, you know. or I'm always looking for something new. And while I guess I don't think that's, entirely bad, but also, I think there's a lot of innovation that comes from striving for that, but I think also maybe there's a degree that I need to kind of be more open to just being enough of things, And I don't know. Maybe that's the answer to it. I definitely don't have all the answers, but I'd like to maybe at least get closer to figuring some of these things out this year. But yeah, to be honest, that's some stuff I've been really thinking about lately. Let's see, what else is going on? I went to the zoo today. That was really nice. I went to the zoo with my good buddy Thomas Tran, aka Art by Thomas, on Instagram. It's been really nice. I've had some really good drawing outings this year already. Like today we went and did a little zoo draw session. It was the free day at the zoo today. So it's like, that was really nice because we didn't have to spend money on a zoo ticket or anything. But also it was kind of like, because it was a weekday, it was kind of slower, and also it was supposed to like rain a lot more than it actually did today. Like it was predicted to rain a lot more, so it did sprinkle a little bit, but the times that it did, the areas that we're in were pretty covered. So the most part, it was pretty like uncrowded today, considering that it was free, which is great. For any of y'all that draw or think it would be cool to go draw at a zoo, I highly recommend it. I love it. Drawing at zoos and museums is one of my favorite things ever, because I feel like, you kind of go to a zoo or a museum a couple times, and you kind of, you've seen it, and you kind of, I can't imagine just going to a zoo just to, at least the zoo that one that I live at, just like going just to go, just like look at stuff, because it's like I looked at it like a ton of times, I lived in Houston all my life. But I think when you go with the intention to draw something that is maybe familiar to you, or especially the zoo, which I think when you get older can kind of feel sad, because you see the animals in the cages and everything, and you're like, oh, the price of safety is your freedom, animals, and you just, especially the monkey exhibit, you just see their sad little monkey eyes. Looks so human. I just feel so bad for them, But I think it makes it a little better when you go in there with a sketchbook and you draw them, and you really get to appreciate what it is you're looking at, and you really look at what you're looking at when you're drawing something. I think that's something I will say. I think that's just the beauty of drawing something, is you appreciate the features of it, and it makes you look closely at it. Especially like someone that you love, I think drawing people that you adore really makes you look at the features of them that make them so great, So, pro tip, y'all, draw your crushes, or whatever, your boyfriends or girlfriends, even if you're not good at drawing, I'm sure they're going to like it. Or maybe, well, I'm just going to say they will, Because if they don't like a drawing that you did of them, and, I think that's a special thing. But yeah, going to the zoo and drawing, very, very cool. Definitely highly recommend. And it's really relaxing, too, because, you're just kind of out there, and you're just there to kind of be with the animals, and it's a good way to experience the animals besides just like sitting there staring at them, and like being sad about it, I guess. makes you appreciate it. I'll do a little cool. Maybe I'll even try to color this one here. Get some colors here. I got a little bit of a honeydew, a little bit of a blue. If I can get a red over here, that'd be really sweet. That would be pretty well off. I'm hoping this video can hold this much stuff. Cool. I think this should be good. Let's try. There we go. Pink, little dyes, blue. Got some artist loft markers here. I love these artist loft markers. For anybody wondering, these are an awesome alternative to Copics, I must say. They are in Michael's brand, and I do love Copic markers. But I for some reason especially love these artist loft markers. Maybe it's, I think also too because it's kind of less color, so it kind of makes me. I kind of like the limitedness of it. Not hyper less colors, but you know, just not as much of a spectrum. I kind of have like a few tones that I tend to gravitate towards more in the pastel or paler kind of spectrum that it's able to fulfill for me. So I enjoy that, and also yeah, they're a little bit cheaper too. You know, you don't have to feel like you're wasting gold every time you use them, which I find people talk about with the Copics. I know I do. It's like when I'm using them, I'm kind of also thinking like, oh my gosh, like this expensive drawing tool is like kind of, I'm just draining it, you know. Which also, like, Copics are like refillable, which is really awesome. But you know, if you're looking for like a good alcohol-based marker that's more so guilt-free, I definitely think Artist Loft is a great mix. Also, I don't know, something about the chisel tip just feels different to me, and the I don't know what it is, honestly. I just kind of, maybe it's just a personal preference. I just really enjoy these, and I try to pimp them out as much as I can to people, because I know everybody thinks that they need the latest and greatest, coolest tools ever, but man, these are cheap little markers, and I really do get a lot of value out of them. I find, you know, I've gone like a whole year where I just use these instead of Copics, and I thought they did everything very well. But I also, you know, I guess I want to come back and say Copics are awesome too, but, you know, I'll go back and forth. I want to speak to both sides, you know. I think it's ultimately up to you, what you decide. I'm not the master of your reality. That's your thing, you know. Yeah, I've been really into drawing this Wargreymon, or not Wargreymon, Metalgreymon, that's been on my desk for quite some time. I had this toy since I was a kiddo, you know. And I guess the other day I just kind of looked at him, I was like, man, I really love this thing. I think I'm gonna really draw it for real, you know. So many great things about Metalgreymon, you know. It's like a dinosaur, but also he's got like a cool robot arm. He's got like the cool, like, you know, dinosaur mech build. There's kind of just like a monster-y build, some of these old, like, Mon genres had, you know. I really appreciate. It's like kind of that, I don't know, it's kind of that like Nidoking body type, I guess. I really like that. It's like Nidoking, Rhyhorn, kind of Charizard, you know. I guess he's kind of like it too. He's more like has like the neck and everything. But yeah, I'll probably upload this to like to Instagram, but you know, I think I might use this as my excuse to finally start posting some YouTube stuff. So wherever you're listening to this now, I appreciate you listening to it. That's pretty cool. Whatever I do decide. This is like past Dalton talking to what will soon be future Dalton. You know, what a concept. Me. Damn. This dude is looking pretty cool, guys. Not gonna lie. And I could lie. Not very well, though. I'm not very good at that. I can't hide my emotions very well, you know. I'm almost a little too transparent sometimes. But I think vulnerability is a good thing. You know, that's my policy at least. I got not much to hide, but I do need to find a pink, because I'm trying to find a pink right now. Unless I could use like oh boy, oh no, what is that? That's a cherry thing. Yeah, it's a little bit of a cherry. My pink's getting a little bit dried out. Oh, there it is. The one that I've been looking for all along my entire life. This marker. A little bit of that action in there. Man, I love a good sticky note doodle. I think that's some good stuff. Especially when you go in, you put a little daps of tones in there, you know. That nice contrast against the yellowness of the pad. It's real good shit, man. Real good. I'm just gonna do it on all of them. I don't care. Oh man, this is a good sticky note. Wow, I'm glad I stayed up. I'm glad I resisted sleep. It's worth it. I like that. I like when a risky thing becomes worth it, you know? I say risky. My sleep is on the line. My well-being. I think I'm being pretty well, you know? Oh, dang, this is like a 30-minute video. It's like a whole freaking 30-minute vid, dog. It's getting kind of long. I don't know. Can I post this to? I don't know where I can even post this, man. If you're listening to this, then that's pretty cool because that means that I put it up somewhere. Yeah, this is as raw as it gets, man. I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do with this video while I'm talking to this video. You know. I think that's really neat. Maybe that's neat. Damn. There you go. Touch that up a little bit. I'd really like to put some purple in there. Sometimes the purple gets a little dulled out though by the I think it's because it contrasts with the yellow because they're opposite colors, you know. So you kind of get more of like a gray, you know, because gray, well, not gray, because, what's it called? Where am I? What am I talking about? Because yellow and purple are opposite on the color wheel, so they kind of cancel out each other. Pretty cool, I know. You're welcome for the knowledge. That's what I'm here for. I'm gonna do something a little crazy. I'm gonna put all this red back here. Cool. Pretty neat. Alright. Well, I think that's calling that a night. Thanks for checking out my video, for listening to this, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the other side of life. But like not in like a dead way, you know. But that would be creepy if I did die, and you listen to this. But you get what I mean. Have a nice day. Be good to yourself.